I should be live right now. I should be live right now. I'm just gonna wait to see if I'm okay. Give it a couple of seconds before I lose my mind. Yep. Are we all here? Are we all here right now? Just go ahead and sound off in chat. Let me just turn down my microphone a little bit. It's about to get hectic in here. What's up, Chris? What's up? Wow. Oh my god! That movie was wild. Like I can't even talk about what happened in the movie in this video because I called this video a spoiler-free review, and I don't want to spoil anybody who's gonna watch the film. But if y'all have any questions for me right now regarding the film, if you have any, let me know. But oh my god, was it good, dude? The attention to detail in the movie was amazing. Like The Office, it like I seen a screenshot of it before the movie came out, but The Office was fire. It was so fire. Like I thought it would be a tiny bit goofy, seeing as how you can't like really point and click since it's like not a video game Office. I thought it would be goofy, but it was not. It was amazing. And like how The Office looked was awesome. Like the posters, oh my god, like they just got translated from the game. The withered animatronics, well, we already seen them in Daco's vlog, but y'all, the withered animatronics were so good. And then the toy animatronics, their designs, amazing, glossy, new looking. All the voice acting for it was amazing. I will say, and I don't think it's that much of a spoiler, but I really feel like Toy Freddy should have talked a tiny bit more. Toy Bonnie's voice acting, amazing. Megan Fox, I think we all were a little too quick to judge Megan Fox. Megan Fox was actually a really great Chica. I think it's just her Mortal Kombat appearance didn't really give her any like good credits because we all seen how that happened. But yeah, I would say she's a better toy Chica than she was that vampire lady in Mortal Kombat. Make sure y'all hit that like button, by the way, if you're excited for Five Nights at Freddy's 2. Yeah, you just keep asking me questions, chat, so I can like kind of organize my thoughts organize my little spoiler review through questions. But yeah, attention to detail, like I just said, was fire. Voice acting was fire. Everyone's asking me about the intro right now. The intro, oh my god, it had me screaming. But you want to know what's crazy? I recorded my whole reaction to the movie. There is all of it is on my phone. Not the movie. I did not record the movie, but my face, like, oh my god. And there's no audio in the videos either. I made sure the microphone was not on, so I couldn't catch no audio from the movie, so I couldn't catch no visuals from the movie. I'm not going to jail. Fuck that. But I recorded my face. Was there any YouTuber cameos? I will not be answering questions about the movie itself because I don't want to spoil anybody. But I will say we do know about one YouTuber who's in the movie because they said it in the little panel. Matt Pat is in the movie. We know that. We already knew that. I made a video about it. Y'all all seen it. Thoughts on IGN rating on a 3 out of 10? IGN is sucking. Excuse me. IGN is over exaggerating because like the jump scares, I feel like maybe that's where it came from. The jump scares were at a better point than they were. They're better than the last film. Like I will say that. Some jump scares, it only really caught me based on the sound alone because I was in a movie theater with Dolby Atmos, so you can like hear everything around there. So the sound alone kind of got me on more jump scares than the actual jump scares itself. But They did work hard on the jump scares, and they worked hard on making things scary to make you feel like you're in dread, to make it feel like there's nothing you can do. That is what I will say. Tomorrow I will talk more on it, and I'll post my spoiler review tomorrow, and then I'll also post all my reactions like in the movie theater. So yeah, Rotten Tomatoes rated it at 13%. 13%? Is it really that bad for people? I feel like that movie was 100% better than the first one. It was really 100% better than the first one. I seen that some reviewers didn't like it, that it was more plot driven, like it should have had more time for it. But I will say that the quick and concise plot was great because they explained a lot while also making the story go forward. So it's not like, well, how did this guy know how to do that? No, they explained it, and then the guy went to do that just to explain it. If I can ask, are you satisfied with the movie? 100%. It is much better than Five Nights at Freddy's 1. And I'm not paid to say that. I didn't get no invites to the red carpet event. Scott is not in my emails telling me to say this. Blumhouse is not in my emails telling me to say this. Universal, no, it's not. I'm actually kind of low-key glad I didn't get invited because I'm not NDA'd. I'm not nothing like that. I can talk without, people saying like, oh, are you just getting paid to say this shit? Like, I'm not even going to get paid to tell you guys to go get a ticket right now because that movie was better than the first one. The intro, just like a Scott minigame. That's what I'll say. And it was better than the first one. The visuals, the editing was not goofy. It was amazing. The horror aspect, you can tell they upgraded a lot. They took being scary more seriously. I won't say in the last film they didn't take being scary seriously, but I don't know. People say they didn't, but I will say that they took being scary more seriously this time. The animatronics, amazing. 1-1 designs from the games. The characters in the film, I will say, sorry about that. The characters in the film, I will say, you are going to be surprised. You are going to be very surprised. There is something that happened in the movie. There are multiple things and people that appeared in the movie that I did not expect to be there. That is all I'm going to say. That shit was fucking crazy. But it's also a movie universe, so it's obviously going to take a different take. I will say this because it's kind of like what's the word? Is ambiguous the word I'm looking for? I'm gonna search up ambiguous right quick. The quality of being open to one or more interpretation. I don't know. Vague. I'm gonna say this, and it's just me being vague, so I don't spoil anything. There is 100% not just gonna be a trilogy. Fuck no. They're doing more than 3 movies. That's all I'm going to say. Because that's fucking crazy. There's no way. And I think we all knew they were going to do more than 3 movies. I think they're just doing the whole trilogy title right now just because they want to play it safe and see if people actually like Five Nights at Freddy's. But yeah, this one's going to make more money than it did last time. People are saying there's many. Why the fuck does Meta keep on doing this to my computer? I'm about to delete Meta right now. Why does it keep doing that? Sorry. Notification keeps popping up on my computer. People are saying there were many plot holes. And yeah, there are. Well, no, wait. Plot holes? Isn't plot holes like bad? Because I'm thinking plot holes are like stuff that's left up to interpretation. Let me find out what a plot hole is. I used to know, but I forgot. An inconsistency in the narrative. Inconsistency in the narrative. I will say that, the video game lore and the movie lore is completely different. Like, the movie is setting up its own thing, so of course it's going to be inconsistent from the games. So, yeah, I guess to answer that question, it's very different from the games, if I answered that correctly. On words, you say fuck. I've been cussing for a long time, dude. When I became 18, that's when I started cussing in videos. Improvement. How scary was it? Improvement is a great. Yeah, the ghost scenes were great. The horror scenes were actually great. There was some shit in there that I did not expect. If you're wondering how violent it was, yeah, I give the violence a fucking higher rating than it was last time. It was pretty graphic. It wasn't crazy graphic. I think they want kids to, watch it, but it was graphic enough to know that you knew somebody probably got fucking crazily mangled up. That's all I'm gonna say. Yeah. Do you think they'll combine both FNAF 3 and 4 for the next movie? I would say they're gonna combine more than those games in the next movie, because I'm gonna shut up. But just know, yeah, they're gonna combine. Let's see. Let me read more in the chat. How would you rate the movie out of 10? Sorry, I don't really do reviews, and I'm usually like a scattered person, so I'm trying to think about what else I can say before I tell you guys my review. But I will say that movie was a solid 10 out of 10 for me. For me, it was a solid 10 out of 10, and that's not me that's not me just saying it because, my channel is grown off of Five Nights at Freddy's. No, I'm saying that shit was a 10 out of 10. It was better than the last movie. Like, I'm going to give the last movie like an 8 out of 10 compared to this one. Maybe a 9 out of 10 the last movie. Just because of how well they translated the game into real life. But, like, no, this shit was a 10 out of 10. Like, they put Easter eggs. They got cameos. They got crazy shit. I didn't say what, but they got crazy shit in there. Are there off-screen kills? I will not answer that question because that is spoilers. And low-key, I don't remember. Combine more games, huh? That's uncensored spoiler. That's crazy. If this is a 10 out of 10, what rating would you give FNAF 1 then? Yeah, like I said, probably like a 9 out of 10. I will say the last movie had some boring scenes, but I'm glad there is more in this movie. Yeah, I'm glad that they kind of got to the point in this movie. Maybe that might be a problem for some people because there's like not enough screen time, not enough development for the characters or something like that. But I kind of just like it when they get to the plot and they don't bullshit. Yeah, and I will say there was a couple of times where I almost cried because the detail was so damn good. Not because it was really sad. I'm not saying that there aren't any sad scenes or nothing to make you cry in the movie. I'm gonna keep that one vague, but I almost just dead ass just like kind of lost it because like, bro, it was so damn crazy. Like, I can see why Dawko was crying in his vlog when in his little vlog video when he was checking out the set. Like, he was crying that he didn't want to go home. You can like kind of see tears in his eyes. Like, he did not want to go back, Shit, I can see. I can see. I'm late, but do tell me, was it good or bad? It was great. It was great. It was good. It was amazing. It's in the 8 out of 10 to 10 out of 10 range. It was that good. I get to watch it tomorrow. I get to wear my yellow rabbit helmet to my showing. Let's go. Send that to me on Twitter if you got one. They should have casted Corey X. Kenshin again for the second time to have him be a traffic or a taxi driver again and pick up another animatronic. Yeah, I wish they did that. I'm kidding. I can't even remember, bro. Like, my brain is like meshed up. Like, I still have not calmed down. That's how great the movie was. What should your mindset be going into the movie? Expect plot. Expect a fuck ton of plot. Expect lore. Expect a lot of lore. Don't really expect too much development. There is development with characters, but don't expect too much development. There's things being explained about the characters so you know who they are, but don't expect too much. Like, I almost kind of want to say expect like some anime type of shit, because like with anime you just kind of get who the character is, and then the action happens, and then they like go across different scenes to see what's happening with the different type of characters. It was almost kind of like the pacing of an anime episode almost, but like one of those anime episodes that go crazy hard, not just like the we're getting to the action type of episodes. It was the crazy action episodes. Does Markiplier voice Endo 02? I have no idea. If there was cameos, I probably did not like hear it or see it too much because I was going fucking crazy. By the way, y'all, I spent $80 for the first time ever to go see a movie. I only spent like $10 or something like that to go see a movie for popcorn and the ticket itself. I spent $80. Do y'all want to see why I spent $80 at the movies? Does Mangle have a voice? No. Yes. I can't remember. And that's not me like being a vague asshole to not spoil people. I actually cannot remember if Mangle had a voice or not. Dang, did Mangle have a voice? Because well, I mean, Mangle was not talking. Obviously, Mangle was not talking because Mangle doesn't talk in the movie or in the games either. Because, you know, when Mangle appears, there's a radio. But I can't remember if Mangle spoke. But I know Mangle just doesn't have a voice. I don't know. Just let's leave that Mangle doesn't have a voice. Did CG Vibe actually voice the Cupcake? I heard he was only casted to voice the Cupcake, right? Doesn't casted mean like they had him try out? But then again, I don't know. I don't even know. I can't even remember. I normally get the kids packed at the movies. See, to not get the kids packed at the movies, you need to see if your theater is playing a day before and on a weekday and way before kids get out of school. Because I was gonna go see the movie at like 2 p.m., but I had to see it at 4 p.m. just to make sure my wife got enough sleep because, you know, she needs to work. So yeah, I just wanted to make sure I didn't just drag her to the movie theaters early. You know, I don't want to do that. Oh, right. The reason why I spent $80 at the movies. Oh, shit. Like, oh my God. Like, I kind of expected this to kind of be like, I won't even lie to you. I kind of expected like the buckets to not look as advertised, like it's trash, but no, it's actually crazy. And what I didn't expect was, are you fucking serious? That's so cool. That's actually cool. I'm low-key kind of mad though, because like, I thought it would be kind of bigger at the top, but apparently from what the people at the counter said, this was like just as big as one of their large bags. So yeah. Does it talk? Yeah, I just played the audio. But yeah, I will say, yeah, they did really great with the movie. Again, yeah, animation, CG, effects were great. The horror aspect was amazing. They really improved. They really improved on Paranormal Activity too. Like, it was great to see a fresh, a fresh balance of Paranormal Activity and robots. I didn't mention that, but yeah, I forgot to mention like the bread and butter of the series, which are ghosts. Yeah, they cooked with Paranormal Activity, like really cooked. Yeah, I think that's probably like one of the last things I would say for a review. They just did amazing. Everything was great. Get your tickets, bro. That's a cursed item. Burn it. What's funny is my wife said, if we go to sleep and that damn thing starts talking, I'm burning it. That's what she said, bro. Did the marketing show too much in the movie? You know, no. I was kind of in line with the people thinking like maybe they're showing a little too much. But then again, I didn't see all the marketing. I only seen like the trailer and maybe like a couple of little clips that they showed before the movie, because you know you got to do that to hype up your film and shit. But no, I feel like they didn't show a lot. And I mean, honestly, after seeing the trailer, I feel like a lot of people would trail away from marketing because they're already hyped. They want to see it. They know what they want to see. People who probably need to see a little bit more marketing and aren't like certain on the movie would probably be watching that by the time or after the trailer drops. So, yeah. Were the voices of the animatronics goofy or anything, or was it weird with them having voices? I think I can say this, and y'all might kill me. Y'all might kill me. Hang on, y'all. Sorry, chat. We're back. The Fnaf police are already at his door. But yeah, I would say the marketing, it was okay. And I feel like it's kind of up to the viewer too to make sure they take precautions to not get way too spoiled. And honestly, like, yeah, they cooked. Like, they made sure the movie theaters had this type of stuff. Like, dang, like I really was not expecting. Let's look up all the popcorn buckets for Five Nights at Freddy's right quick, because like, yeah, I was not expecting them to go this damn hard with this movie. Like, Scott and the Universal team, they were not fucking around by no means, bro. They locked in. Like, they locked in. Hang on, let me get my other capture up because I need to see all the popcorn buckets again. Okay. Like, oh god, I'm burping. Like, look at this, bro. Like, they have a popcorn bucket based on the stage. Then they have a paper pal there, and they look like the animatronics. Like, it's not just some copy pasted Five Nights at Freddy's stuff. I didn't know they had that popcorn bucket right there. Does that popcorn bucket come with action figures? Is that why they? I don't even know. I think the action figures are just like from another company. But yeah, that's a popcorn bucket. I guess that's a drink. They also gave away boxes too, but not like signed ones. But they did give away boxes. Like if you like ordered a pizza, they'd give you like a Freddy Fazbear box. And there was one with a toy Freddy head too. I wanted to actually get that one, and I think my theater had it, but it was in the form of a cup. I thought it was a popcorn bucket. I think it is a popcorn bucket, but they had it in the form of a cup down there. I was so pissed. Like that was the one I wanted because you can actually remove Toy Freddy's face and the eyes turn red. I actually wasn't gonna get the Fast Talker, but I settled for it because I know it's gonna probably be some mythical pull that you probably can't find on the internet after a while. So. Had to settle for the Fast Talker, bro. I'm trying to pull up my chat again. I accidentally closed Google Chrome. What about the voices of the animatronics? Oh, right. Dang, I was on that topic, wasn't I? Yeah, the voices of the animatronics, they were great. Now, I was about to say something, and I didn't want you guys to be mad at me for it. I would kind of say that Megan Fox kicked Matt Pat's ass in terms of voice acting. But hey, it's not a competition. But I just in my opinion, I feel like Matt Pat was maybe doing a little too much. But like, I mean, he can't really talk in his normal voice. You know, you have to kind of twist it up and sound like, you know, like a trusted individual talking to kids. So maybe that's why he did that with his voice. But I will say Matt Pat, it sounded a little weird, but I think I kind of just answered my own thing by saying like, yeah, he kind of had to sound like an individual that had to be trusted around kids, and you know the happy voice you do around children to make them all excited for events and stuff. But I was kind of expecting Matt Pat to kill it. He did great, but I was expecting him to kind of kill it. You know, Kellen. Yeah, I already know. We don't. Kellen, he's in his own separate element. Kellen is amazing. Kellen did amazing, bro. Oh my god, was Kellen Toy Freddy? Right? Like, let me search that up. I mean, y'all will probably answer it, but I think Kellen was Toy Freddy, right? Yeah, he is. Yeah, he did great as Toy Freddy. I kind of wish he would have spoke more. Seriously, I wish they would have had him speak more. Kellen voices phone guy. In what? I can say for certain there is no phone guy in that movie, unfortunately. You need to get casted in the third movie. I would honestly love to be like just the extra that dies. Like, I want to die in the Five Nights at Freddy's verse. That would be hilarious, because then technically, canonically, my soul and my remnant or whatever is in the building, you know? It's up for grabs. I low-key hope they kind of do that. Like, the next time they cast for Five Nights at Freddy's, like, they should... By the way, does my mic sound fine? Because I turned off the gain. I didn't want you guys to get, like, crazy. I'm just going to turn it back on just a tiny bit, just in case. Yeah, I kind of hope they do, like, a fear attraction scene, but, like, they actually cast people to, like, walk around and treat Fazbear's Fright like it's a fear attraction. Like, and then, like, William kills them off to the side or something. Bro wants to live forever at Freddy's. Yo, sis, what's up, Gabe Manium? But yeah, make sure y'all keep asking some questions too, because y'all need to rattle my brain a little bit so I can try to get more people onto the film. Was BB a menace? We can answer that. Yeah, I mean he has to be a menace since we're since he's a part of the new line of animatronics that they're trying to feature and make scary in the movie. BB was a damn menace. Are there any after credits? Ooh, that's a good one. Yes. 2. So don't leave after the first one plays. I almost said what it was. Don't leave after the first one. And technically, the other one, I think I can say this. The next one afterward followed the same style as the after credit in the first movie. Did the FNAF movie FNAF? It indeed FNAF'd. Thoughts on Toy Chica? I can say this too because we've seen it in the trailer. I will say that Toy Chica was on some fucking Arkham Batman timing. That is what I will say. She is on some Arkham Batman timing. Springtrap 2138. Not so hidden. That is what I'll say to that. Toy Chica was a menacing person. How was the Wizards? Accurate. Very, very, very fucking accurate. And I will say this. Unfortunately, they did not adapt the famous toy or Withered Foxy jump scare. I was really hoping they would adapt that shit, but they did not. They had an opportunity, we'll say that, but they didn't, which is really stupid. Gory scenes, some fire animatronic kills. Fire animatronic kills, this movie is not gory, but there are implications of gory shit. I will say that. Where the kill is more brutal than the first movie, the same level as the bite from the movie. They toned it up. I will say that. They fucking toned it up. The movie lore is so different from the first game's lore, man. It's so different. Like there are things in that movie that I did not expect to appear. Can you talk about the hot tub scene? We can't talk about it. It was too 18 plus. They established the wonky lore. The wonky lore. Is this another theory name? Like the God David theory shit? Is wonky lore like that? Or are you just calling the lore weird? Nowadays, I feel so out of the way in the Five Nights at Freddy's community, all because I don't read the books. No, the lore not making sense. So yeah, I guess that's in line with the plot hole thing people were saying. The lore makes sense. Like, if you just gotta watch the first movie again if you forgot the lore. The lore makes a lot of sense, I think. But then again, I am a person who's read a couple of books and played all of the Five Nights at Freddy's games, so maybe that's why it makes sense to me. But I feel like for somebody who hasn't played all the Five Nights at Freddy's games, they can follow the lore pretty easily, and they don't really have that much lore to think about with like an hour 30-minute movie and then the other one being like 2 hours. I think y'all got like 4 hours worth of content to think about. We got like 15 years of games to think about, bro. Glad to hear the movie was good. Oh yeah, it was great. Maybe you should buy all the books. I was thinking about it, but I don't know. I mean, why not? Who cares? I'm seeing the movie on Saturday. I need to stay off the internet. Yes, you do. You need to get the hell off the internet. But if you have the opportunity, I would see that like tomorrow early if you can. I don't know if you got work or school or anything like that. If you do, fuck what I'm saying. I'm sorry, but I don't know. But if you have the opportunity, see it really early because you do not want to get stuck with kids. Because I feel like once people realize that the Faz Talker does that, they're just gonna be in there pressing it all day. Like, nah, bro. It's gonna be like chicken jockey all over again, but everyone's just gonna buy a Fast Talker and just press the button all day. People can spoil a movie like no problems. Wait, someone spoiled the movie? Chica in space context is needed. I will say I'm kind of sad because I was like kind of focused on making sure my phone was recording my face and not the movie. I missed a scene where they have like the arcade machines up, and I don't know if they did any mini games, like anything. I will say though, there is one mini game I did see, and I can't say what it is because I don't want people to get spoiled, but that mini game was something I did not expect. Like, wow. On TikTok? Oh yeah, everyone just doesn't know how to shut the hell up on TikTok. People don't know how to shut the hell up on Twitter and TikTok. That's what I've learned. Because at least like on other websites like Reddit, even though I do not use that, like I know Reddit has like spoil filters and stuff, and they'll ban you if you spoil shit in the wrong place. So, but Twitter, TikTok, it's like the Wild West. You open that shit, you're just opening up a spoiler can of worms if you're trying to miss something. Seriously. IGN gave a 3 for some reason. Let's go look at oh wait. I'm not going to display it on the screen in case they talk about spoilers, but let's go look at IGN's review. Fuck IGN. That's why I have them blocked on Twitter. 3 out of 10. Fnaf 2 review. I mean, again, like, you're entitled to your own opinion, but, like, a 3 out of 10 is so harsh. Like, are we just not going to talk about... It just feels like you shit on all the work when you give it such a low score, man. That's such a piss poor rank. What did they have to say about it? Okay, let's read what IGN has to say. If there was any critic predisposed to... I'm going to mute that in case it plays audio. Oh, if it does, I won't get copyrighted since it's muted. Okay. Okay. I'm just gonna try to read this fast. I defended Amatami's critically panned first adaptation. I've written about the overblown curse of video game adaptations here on IGN. Blah 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 blah. Okay, they're just kind of yapping here, like. So they're talking about IGN's sitting here talking about how the toys look sleeker, more Chuck E. Cheese iterations we've already beheld, remain a masterwork of practical effects dominance. So I guess they like the toys and the effects, or the lack of effects, since they're like actually building their own toys. Foxy's mangle form, a failed pull apart activity, yada yada yada, gives a freakish junkyard appearance. So yeah, it seems like from what I'm reading here, they kind of like how they worked with that. Okay. And then they say Tammy understands how to bring these not so gentle giants to life. Okay, that's great. So they did like the animatronics. They talked about the score in terms of the music. So they called it cheesy kitty restaurant tunes, which is, I'm assuming that's good because that's the theme they were going for. Yep, that's the 2 whole things I applaud. Okay, now here's the not so fun stuff. Okay, Fazbear fanatics will know precisely what to expect from Five Nights at Freddy's 2 because Scott Cawthon cares more about parading the hits than reworking his security guy in a room playability. Tammy's saddled with the screenplay. By the way, I will not read the spoilers out loud, so don't worry. I'm not an idiot. Tammy's saddled with a screenplay that's cramming nutritionless Easter eggs down our throats, like we're held hostage in a Cadbury production facility. Nutritionless Easter eggs? There was like only a couple of Easter eggs, honestly. They make it sound like you get hit with like a Shadow Freddy Easter egg every 3 seconds. Is it humorous when Hutcherson... I'm not going to read that. because that might be spoilers. So they get mad for a tiny little joke in the movie. Okay, I can't really explain that, but the first film is savvier about transforming the sedentary Five Nights at Freddy's playstyle into a feature-length adventure. That movie hardly panders evolution, reimagines Five Nights at Freddy's for theaters. Five Nights at Freddy's 2 is a step backward in that regard, trying to one-for-one gameplay elements without realizing silly functionality appears on the screen. I agree with that. I will agree with that. So they were saying like they did better with the FNAF 1 office because, you know, you can actually walk around in there and kind of like not worry about how it would look weird with the point and click features. I will say it's kind of weird that they had vent lights in the movie and Michael never touched them. I will agree with that, and I can say that because, you know, don't expect the vent lights to be touched. Yeah, I can agree that it was kind of goofy to have like the lights there, but Mike never touches them. And then it's like, if an animatronic is in your vent, what the fuck are you gonna do? You're gonna walk up to the vent, then get dragged Arkham fucking Batman style by whatever's in there? No. Mike did have a flashlight, and we did see it in the trailer, and we've seen it in the teaser for The Office. But then it's like, if you're gonna give your workers a flashlight, why is there a light button on the vents? I don't know. Okay, this makes me scared. Someone reassure me, dude. The movie's an 8 out of 10. IGN's kind of over exaggerating because they just got mad about a joke regarding the Freddy mask that you use for the Wizards. They got mad at that, and they said that Tammy forced Easter eggs down people's throats. The Easter eggs were like out of the way and on the sides of the screens. They weren't just like saying, "Oh, here's Sparky the dog. Oh, here's Shadow Freddy." Like, no, it was just on the sides while the plot was going. Like, the movie and the Easter eggs coexisted perfectly. But the only thing that I'm agreeing with here is, yeah, even though The Office does look lore accurate, when you think about how it works, it's kind of goofy. But I mean, I'm still happy about a lore accurate Office, and at least they had Michael use a flashlight. So, okay, Tammy and Cawthon strive to provide a more ferocious horror bite, but rely on only one method: jump scares. Not really. I mean, there was more jump scares because that's kind of the foundation FNAF was built on, you know, being all up in your face and shaking and shit. But there was some scary ass moments. There was some aura farming more moments. There was some scary shit in there other than just in your face and shit. That's what I will say. So maybe not. Cawthon includes the marionette as a puppet, blah, blah, blah. I'm not going to read that because spoilers. Blah, blah, blah. The film makes a frustrating use of otherwise eerie imagery. What does that mean? I've already written a Sinfax script about the art of jump scares, specifically how it's additive, not the main course. Five Nights at Freddy's 2 disagrees and renders itself frightless in the process. It is not frightless, but I will say a couple of jump scares only got me based on the alone, not like what is on the screen. But there was some scary shit on the screen too, if you're not expecting it. So I will say the jump scares, maybe you can give them like a 60 to 70%, but that's definitely higher than the first one. Freddy's made jump scares popular. That's what I'm saying, but this person doesn't really agree. Because, yeah, I can see why people would have a problem with the movie if the movie was only like, Priya! Like, nah, there was some other scary shit. Blah, 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 blah. Let's see. Tammy leans into the most conveniently uninteresting tropes of PG-13 horror in terms of terror. Anything interesting happens off screen. That is a fucking lie. That is a fucking lie. And if things happened off screen, there was a lot of good shit that happened right in front of your face. Which includes beating jump scares like a dead horse until they're utterly redundant and predictable. Damn. Add in a terrible Instagram face filter for whenever I can't read that. Looking like something that would only haunt your DMs. So I I guess they're calling. I'm going to try to say this with information we already know. They're calling the face, the makeup, what McKenna Grace had in the teaser, as a crappy Instagram filter. And then they said it looks like something that would haunt your DMs. And Wolf does the film's attempt to And Wolf does the film's attempt to be spookier land with a thud. It feels so self-conspicuous and reactionary. Cawthon tries to beat complaints to the punch, which is a recipe for disaster. Don't get me wrong, Five Nights at Freddy's was viciously savaged by critics, but to backpedal almost feels like cowardice. I mean, if someone's telling you your first film is not scarier, you're going to try to at least pack more jump scares, not to the point where it's like annoying as hell, but they're going to try to pack more jump scares. And honestly, with how they're explaining the jump scares, maybe it's because I'm still hype and I don't remember it pretty well, but every fucking second was not pre-ah. Like when I say pre-ah, I mean like the FNAF 2 jump scare sound. I'm sorry, there's probably some people who don't know that. That's what it sounds like when you get jump scared. Five Nights at Freddy's, it sounds like they're screaming pre-ah or freedom or some shit. But yeah, I mean, like when you get to the horror aspects of the movie, there's gonna be some shit that jumps out on the screen. There's gonna be some creepy shit that happens. Maybe something you hear in some noises and stuff. But they didn't overly spam that shit. They didn't. They might overly spam it in Fazbear's Frights next film, though. They might overly spam it. It might get too annoying, but we'll see. Fazbear's Fright in the third movie should hopefully be their most scary and edgiest movie, probably. Or maybe FNAF 4 might be. Sorry, I'm getting off track. That's sometimes my brain just goes off track. Blah, 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 blah. Okay, back to what we were saying. But to backpedal feels like cowardice. Five Nights at Freddy's makes all the glaring video game adaptations mistakes we've seen before, which stings even worse because its predecessor does not. The video game franchise is a convoluted mess of continuity, which is already seeping into Blumhouse's films. Such narrative ridiculousness is more forgivable in video games. I feel like they explained enough in the movie, though. Like, I feel like Scott took his Secret of the Mimic writing and put it into the films. Because Scott's Secret of the Mimic was completely clear. In the other games, not so much, because I feel like he was kind of riding off the hype that Five Nights at Freddy's is a mysterious game and everyone's going to theorize about it and stuff. And that's okay. But, also please make your story fucking comprehensive so people can understand. But, yeah. Okay, back to reading this weird review. Okay. Blah, 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 blah. Where inactivity trumps storytelling. Or where interactivities trump storytelling. But the movies are a different beast. Without Tammy or Cudbeck or Cawthon defaults to a video game mindset that doesn't work in the same as Hollywood. Worst of all, Five Nights at Freddy's 2 suffers from the horrendous third act problem in that it doesn't really have one. Cawthon treats the sequel as a feature-length promotional material. Treats the sequel as a feature-length promotional material for whatever comes next. They're saying the marionette deserves better in this film. I can't really spoil shit, but I feel like the marionette was at 100% in this film. The marionette action was 10 out of 10. That's all I can really say. What the fuck? Which does a lot of setting up without wanting to see anything. Okay, now this is the part where this is another part where they're just fucking chatting. The marionette deserves so much better in this film, which does a whole lot of setting up without wanting to see anything through. That just kind of sounds like an opinion. That doesn't really sound like a fact. I mean, a review is an opinion, but this kind of just sounds like hating to hate, I guess is what I'm trying to say. Don't worry, that'll get addressed in the sequel. Isn't that how fucking movies work? Like, in a sequel, you're gonna set something up and then move on to the next thing. You can't really solve all of the FNAF lore in one movie. It's going to be like a fucking 5-hour Harry Potter film. There's a ghost girl in this film, and I can't really explain Charlie's motives, but there's a ghost girl in the film, and that's kind of all you need to know for right now. And now we're going to try to make this ghost girl as scary as possible. Like, I think that was the point there, and that's okay. Blumhouse promises, as they count fat stacks of ticket sales, Cawthon pelts us with lore and rubs of salt in the wounds. Cawthon pelts us with lore? You motherfuckers are mad that he's pelting you with lore? I sat on my ass on my mother's floor for fucking 10 years waiting for some fucking lore. Are they fucking serious? Yo, nah, IGN's pissing me off right now. Pelts us with lore. You motherfuckers don't know lore from a fucking hole in the ground. We had to wait for lore for years. Y'all are getting in like 2-hour fucking films. Are they fucking serious? Nah, bro. This rage bait. Pelts us. Nah, man. I can't even get past that line. Cawthon pelts us with lore. Because they would be mad if Scott did his old style type of writing where he keeps everything vague as hell. These niggas are talking about Cawthon pelts us with lore. Get the fuck out of here. And rubs salt in the wounds, whatever that means. Dumping reveal after reveal. Do you not want to know what the fucking story is? Do y'all not want to know what the fucking story is? Like, at least IGN had something nice to say, but they're kind of chatting at this point. What do you mean lore is bad? A reveal before you blink and you'll miss it. I mean, that's probably what you just gotta watch the movie again, probably, or just go read it up on the internet. We have the internet now. You can just go read up on lore if you missed it. Conclusion that displays no fundamental understanding of filmic structure. The movie wants you so desperately to grasp at a cliffhanger ending, but all it does is make us want to cut the cord from this On the Fritz series. Was the storytelling really that bad for people? Like, I honestly feel like it was so easy to fucking follow. Like, at no point in the movie was I sitting there like, why did they do that? I mean, I said, why did they do that? But not to what y'all would expect. And I can't say what I said that to because it was a crazy reveal. I'm not going to say that shit. But, and when I said, why did they do that? It was more... It wasn't out of rage or hate. It's just really confusing that Scott did that. But I'm sure it'll make sense in the next movie because that's how movies work. We're just going to have to wait till the next damn one. Like, what? But I feel like when something came in the movie and answered a question, it was so comprehensible. It's not like they just fucking had a slideshow of reveals. Like, fucking, like, I don't know. I'm trying to give an example so I don't spoil the movie. Like, like they didn't just like have you find out Michael is and this is an example. This didn't happen in the movie. They didn't say, "Oh, Mike Schmidt, your real dad's William Afton," and then in the next scene they said, "Oh, Vanessa, your brother died in a car crash." Next scene, "Oh, I'm Charlotte. I'm Henry's daughter." Next scene. It wasn't structured like that. It was like a reveal, then the movie progressed, and then there was another like, it was healthy. It was healthy. This is the next paragraph. The actors fight tooth and nail to wrestle any modicum of intrigue from their roles. Damn. But there are Hallmark specials that read more as genuine. Lyle's... Oh. I can't read this part, but that part is bullshit. I'm just gonna read the verdict now. Five Nights at Freddy's 2 gives sequels, video game adaptations, and gateway horrors a bad name. Cawthon adheres too rigidly to his franchise's muddy mythology, coyly withholding some information. I'm gonna fucking ring whose ever neck this is. Cawthon has been fucking withholding information for a long ass time with his lore, and I had to wait like 2 or 3 fucking years apart to get the next game. And y'all are mad that he's talking about the lore? Nah, fuck that. I don't care. That is not a valid criticism. Every other criticism, whatever that was said here, whatever. That's what they think. That they have a right to their fucking opinion. But to be mad that Scott is talking about the fucking lore, and I had to wait so damn long, I'm mad. I'm fucking mad at you guys at IGN. Okay. Withholding information and dumping exposition elsewhere, both at the bafflingly wrong times. Tammy is a gun for hire, bringing no secret sauce to the pizza party. It's so funny how this person called Lyle a scene that happened with Vanessa corny, and then said, quote, "Were we not supposed to laugh?" But then says Tammy is a hired gun for hire, bringing no secret sauce to the party. How the fuck is that not corny either? Anyway, the saving grace of outstanding animatronics is worth embarrassingly little when quote, generic as sin is the nicest complaint anything else deserves. No film is meant to please everyone, but even considering the diehard fan base Cawthon has cultivated, it's hard to tell who Five Nights at Freddy's 2 will impress with a film so fucking bad that it'd be a franchise killer elsewhere. See, this is why I always like squint hard when people say 3 out of 10 for Five Nights at Freddy's, because it feels like all the other work in the film just completely gets shit on, and we just forget to mention that, and then we just dive into one point for the whole damn review, and then we just say it's a 3 out of 10. It was bad. And yeah, these guys hate Emma Tammy. Yeah, apparently. What did Emma Tammy do? Was she like? Yeah, I ain't gonna ask that. I don't. Yeah, but I don't know. I was gonna ask, did she do something bad in the past for all this damn hate? But I don't really care, honestly. I'm not trying to get into that. That's I'm not trying to do that. But I don't know. The movie was not as bad as IGN said. They adapted the game. They adapted elements from the game perfectly. Yeah, I mean, sometimes the jump scares were a little and sometimes more of the loud noise got me than the jump scare. But I mean, I will give the jump scares like a 60 to 70%, like I said, but they weren't horrible jump scares. They were really creative, and there are jump scares just like the game. But I'm still really mad about that fucking, like, complaining about Scott throwing lore. And plus, it's a whole different universe. Like, he's gonna have to throw lore. It's another universe of Five Nights at Freddy's, but it's in the form of a movie. Scott can't sit there for like 40 fucking hours and put a bunch of character development into a movie, or else we're gonna be reaching like the Hobbit. Is it called the Hobbit? Oh no, I think it's called the Lord of the Rings. Or we'll be reaching Lord of the Rings and Harry Potter hours. Like we can't really, like, Five Nights at Freddy's is deep enough to probably have a 4-hour film like Harry Potter and shit. But I feel like when you pelt too many hours in a film, it's just, you might turn off your viewers, in a world where we have way too little attention spans to the point where we're pissed off about a movie telling us what the hell things mean. Yeah, our attention spans nowadays can't take a 4-hour film. I just don't think. I don't know. Just saw it and I really like it. 8.8 out of 10. Yep. Like, yeah, it's basically within that range. It's like it's within the 8 to 10 range. It was a okay fucking movie. Like, my fiance in there, she doesn't know shit about Five Nights at Freddy's, and she said it was a good one. She didn't like the first one that much, but she liked the second one. Which animatronic was a standout? The puppet. The puppet is the animatronic of the film. The animatronic. Like, it's crazy how Freddy Fazbear is the face of the brand, but no. Charlie was the face of that movie. I think I said this on a video, but like, I feel like when more people start to realize what Charlie is, I feel like she's going to be more the face of the franchise, because the puppet looks creepier than Freddy Fazbear, like, at a glance. The shit Charlie does in the movie is scarier than what we've seen Freddy Fazbear do at a glance, even though Freddy Fazbear literally fucking cut somebody in half with his damn jaws in the first movie. I feel like people are gonna make Charlie the face of the franchise. Like you're gonna see more people looking like Charlie or cosplay as Charlie. I don't know. Fuck reviewers. No, I mean, again, you're okay to have your own opinion and shit, but when your whole criticisms are kind of low key, jump scare bad, plot way too consistent with telling us shit. It kind of just puts me off. And then you end the review with a fucking 3 out of 10. I don't know. Bare minimum sequel. Everything it's doing lacks enthusiasm. Like, shut the fuck up. I didn't even read that part because this review was kind of stupid. As a horror movie, it lazily pushes characters straight towards danger, stupidly keeping them there, and ruins excitement by tipping every jump scare. As a video game adaptation, it trots out familiar mechanics and callbacks, red and green buttons, Balloon Boy, but treats these thrown bones as the main attraction. It's an incomplete sequel, an underwritten coming of adolescence story. It was really not that damn bad. They're definitely over-exaggerating for clicks. Because it feels like some reviewers actually love their jobs and actually do it for the love of the game. It just seems like this shit that IGN wrote, like there are hints of an actual review and an opinion here, but then it just kind of fucking boils down to over-exaggerating later on. I don't know. It just sounds like plain fucking over-exaggeration. Like, IGN makes you want to think this movie is a fucking person with really long nails scratching down a board. Or, like somebody with really long nails scratching down a chalkboard. That's what IGN apparently makes you want to think that. I don't know. Popular question is, how are the voices? The voice is really great. Did Freddy Fred the Freddy? Yes. Wasn't IGN ones who left that review? Don't they have a history of being biased on a lot of franchises? I don't know about the history of being biased on a lot of franchises, but the takes that I kind of read there was kind of dumb as fuck. It was really dumb. Like, you don't have to be a diehard Five Nights at Freddy's fan to enjoy that damn movie. You don't. And even if you were a diehard fan, the movie lore is different from the game lore. So you're going to have to watch that movie and then get your opinion. You can't just automatically like the movie because you know what's going to happen in it. You don't know what's going to happen in it. You know the characters in it. Oh, man. Bro, I'm looking at Twitter. Why did Daco post that, bro? I'll put the image up on the screen. Why the fuck did Daco post that? Bro, what is Daco doing, man? What is this shit? Why is that Boo hoodie kind of goes off though? Where did he get the cupcake? Is that even Daco? Tough. Ghost Toy Freddy. I'm seeing more of the reviews on Twitter. Why do people who only like movies for children get mad when a critic doesn't like their movie and their favorite franchise? Like, again, like, I can't really speak for everybody who looks at a review, but for me, if you're really going to sit here and kind of shit on Blumhouse's work and make the movie sound like, you know, someone taking long nails and going down a chalkboard, if you're going to treat it like that, I kind of just say, fuck you. Like, again, it's America. It's, and even if it isn't America, you have a right to have your own fucking opinion. You know, we're all human beings. We don't think the same, and that's the greatest part about being a human. We all don't think the same, and we aren't the fucking same. Otherwise, life would be boring as hell. But when you kind of low key over exaggerate, and it kind of sounds like you're doing it for fucking clicks, you lost me. Because in this day and age, rage baiting for fucking clicks, it's annoying. Like, I've seen it way too much. I've seen rage baiting for clicks like since like 2016. Like, when I started CistReactZ, that's when like rage baiting for fucking engagement in my POV just really started to happen all the damn time, and it has not ended, and it's 2025 right now. Like, Five Nights at Freddy's 2 is only marginally better than the first, but that amounts to little. The plot is incomprehensible. It treats the audience like they're dumb. It's not scary. It had scary moments. To say it's not scary is kind of, I don't know, a tiny bit inaccurate, but it's your opinion. And I'm not sure what fans would even get out of this. Damn. I mean, it was really cool to see. I think what fans get out of it is to see their favorite fucking characters adapted on screen, to see their characters in a whole different story adapted on screen. It was okay. But I just don't know. I don't know, like, was I listening too hard? Was I leaned too damn forward in my seat? Like, I felt like, as a person who, I felt like as a person who watched the film, I understood all the plot. Like, I don't know. I guess maybe some theaters didn't play the audio loud enough. I think I understood the damn plot. Like, and if you don't understand the plot, it's really just guy who sits in a chair with a bear mask and they need to stop ghosts. It's literally just that. Like, I mean, you can really boil the plot down for the whole Five Nights at Freddy's trilogy as guy is going to sit in a chair. Guy needs to stop ghost wearing bunny suit. Like, I don't know. I mean, it's just that simple. I mean, there's things in between that, but it's just that simple. Basic concept. Yeah, I mean, just that's how you boil Five Nights at Freddy's down. There's no freaky scenes. What? What? Did you just ask me, are there any freaky scenes? Why would there be freaky scenes? I know you're joking, but like, why? Why would there be any freaky scenes in Five Nights at Freddy's, man? If you mean freaky as in scary, then yes. But the other way, fuck no. It's because some dude talked about a hot tub scene. That was 100% a joke. 100% a joke. I just went with it. I didn't think anybody believed it. I thought we all knew I'm like one of the most sarcastic, dumbest Five Nights at Freddy's jokers out there. What is that person talking about? I think it was just a hot tub joke that I made that made them think the movie was freaky. When I see Toy Chica, I will bust it down. All right, that's about it for this stream. It's getting a little too freaky in here. A little too fucking quirky at 9:34 at night. But yes, I'm sorry that it got a little too I guess long-winded. I think that's the phrase where it got too long. But yeah, movie was a 10 out of 10 for me. It was great. And yeah, Five Nights at Freddy's 2 is my favorite Five Nights at Freddy's game, but I can't be biased just because it's my favorite Five Nights at Freddy's game. Maybe it would come off as bias if the movie literally did 1-1 the whole plot of the game Five Nights at Freddy's 2, but no, it did a whole plot. It has its own different story. So as a person who loves Five Nights at Freddy's 2, yes, I'm going to see things from the game that I like, but it's different. I'm going to have to watch it, then form an actual opinion on it. I can't just sit there and be like, it's good because it's Five Nights at Freddy's 2. No. If it was ass, I'm going to tell y'all it was ass, and it's not ass. It's really not. And that's probably why Universal or Blumhouse will never pay me, because I'm going to be blunt. Well, okay, I'm not gonna say that they only pay people who will tell you straight bullshit. That's not to say that they will hire people or sponsor people that will tell you straight bullshit. They won't. I'm sure that they won't. I'm sure they'll keep their company's integrity where it needs to be. But me, they probably won't hire me because I'm way too blunt. I will tell you, if that movie was straight piss dog water, muddy, pissy, shitty water, I will tell you that. And it was not. Now, IGN will sit there and tell you that that movie is, and I just don't really know why, especially when they had such good things to say about it. Well, I think the only good thing that I read was the animatronic designs and the movie's soundtrack, but there was just kind of more than that, you know? Like, I don't know. There was definitely more than just a good soundtrack and good animatronic designs. They gave She-Hulk an 8. I haven't watched She-Hulk, so I can't really tell them that they're stupid for that. Did the scary FNAF 2 alert hallway ambient sound play in the movie? Damn. I don't think it did. No, it didn't. It 100% didn't. But I will say there were sound effects from the Five Nights at Freddy's game in the film. I think that's safe to say. There were. You haven't watched She-Hulk? Nah. Whenever I watch anything Marvel, I usually just watch like the main films, not like the TV shows. I know the TV shows give you lore. And they give you lore and they're in the same universe as the movies because, you know, it's all the MCU universe, but I just said universe twice, but whatever, because MCU universe. But yeah, I know it's all in the same universe and it'll give you all the lore that you need, but I just watch the movies. When you know who showed up in the flashback and you know whose house, I freaked out. I mean, it was in the trailer, so you don't gotta. You don't gotta. Wait, maybe I don't know what you're talking about. Like, I do know what you're talking about, but then I can't remember. Maybe I do know what you're talking about. Yeah. It was mid for me, at least. Okay, now I'm interested. I know I said I was gonna end the stream, but now I'm interested. Blizzard IRL, and I'm not mad or anything. Tell me why you thought the movie was mid. And as a person who calls the movie mid, what score would you give it? Because I just want to see if you're just like IGN or not. I'm just curious. If you're like IGN, whatever, have your opinion. Mm-hmm. But, you know, like, as somebody who calls the movie mid, I would assume that it's like a 5 or like a 5 to a 6. Because there's shitty. No. There's dog water, piss, then there's bad, then there's mid, and there is peak cinema. That's how I'm rating everybody's, or that's like the scale on what people rank. You got the popcorn bucket. Well, I didn't get the one I wanted, but I got a fast talker. Maybe between a 6 and a 7. I hope all of you burn. I hope everybody who's writing a 6-7 burns. Did it come out today? And where I'm at, they played the movie a day early. They always do that. No spoilers. Yeah, we haven't talked about a single spoiler here. I've been trying to be careful. Like, if you ask me something and it's not in the movie, I'm gonna outright tell you that's not in the movie, so you don't get your expectations up waiting for it. On a scale of 1 to 10, what's your review? 10 out of 10. Dark Galaxy? Oh, okay, now I know what you mean then. Barney boy, I'm not at liberty to deny or agree. Thank you. First honest response. The 6-7 jokes are overrated. I haven't seen the film, so I'll give my review once I see it, but I can tell I'll love it. Yeah, I mean, fans of Five Nights at Freddy's, non-fans of Five Nights at Freddy's, I think people will love it. And if you pay attention, the plot is not as convoluted and holy as people are trying to make it, because my ears were open that whole movie. And I'm somebody who kind of has a low attention span, I guess. I kind of drown in and out sometimes, but like, because I like Five Nights at Freddy's and because, you know, my channel's grown on Five Nights at Freddy's, I'm going to pay attention to it. Why do the critics seem to hate it so much? I don't fucking know. I don't. Like, I just read a critic that just complained about too much lore. And I just don't think they know Scott Cawthon's righted, because, like, if they seen Scott 5 years ago and he made this movie, they would bitch about him not talking about too much. Like, let's be real. Scott can't win in terms of lore or in terms of how he dishes out his plot, apparently. He just can't win. Because if we're talking about 5 years ago, Scott, that nigga was a whole different beast. He will animate a mini game with a grape man walking around with what looked to be at the time a hand crank. He touches the animatronic, the scene goes away, and we get no explanation on when that event was or what the fuck was even happening. But somebody at IGN is mad because Scott, and this is not an actual spoiler from the movie, I'm giving an example. Like, somebody at IGN is mad because there's a scene where Mike falls. No, again, this is an example where they would reveal Mike's father, real father, and then explain how that guy is his real father. Then they go into the next scene. Like, somebody's gonna complain about a story structure like that. That's kind of weird. Scott released all the 5 games in barely over 4 years. Yeah, and it's kind of weird how he still did not give a lot of lore. And we still have like our own interpretations of it. But that just goes to show you how different the writing is, because nowadays Scott will tell you about the lore rather than making you sit and think about the lore for 5 hours in your room. Complain just for the love of the game. Apparently. I low-key been waiting for the response of that person who called it mid, but I didn't see it in chat. That's kind of why I was waiting. But okay, I don't know, maybe they clicked off or something. All right, I'm gonna did you ever jump from any of the jump scares? I jumped from some jump scares, but the noise, like the kind of scared me only sometimes. But that is not to say every fucking jump scare is bad, like IGN will make you think. But anyway, okay, that's it for the movie. That's it for the movie spoiler-free review. I'm glad to see you guys had some questions, and I'm glad you guys sat down and listened to my opinion on the movie. Thank you guys for attending to the stream. Tomorrow I will do another live stream where I actually talk about all the spoilers and how I completely feel about it. Then the day afterward, I will post my my reaction video on the movie itself. It's gonna be narrated. And hopefully, well, actually, let's see right now. Hopefully it wasn't too dark in there, because I had the camera like positioned to my face and the audio was off, so no movie audio was caught. I forgot what the app was called for a second. Let's see if the stuff was bright enough, because if it wasn't bright enough, then y'all are not getting the... Yikes. It was a little too dark. Oh yeah, some of these you can't even fucking see my face. Maybe I can like go brighten it up on an app or something. Like, some of these y'all can see my face, but some of them you can't. Yikes. Oh well. But if I can get the reaction face videos brighter, then it's going to be like a narrated video on exactly what is happening in the plot. Then you'll see my exact reaction to it. So, yeah. Can't talk about that scene without spoilers. You probably need to turn up the brightness. Yeah, I'll try that. Okay, yeah. See you later, W Stream. Yeah, thank you guys for watching. Peace out. And remember to form your own opinions. Don't listen to somebody on the internet tell you that the movie is amazing. Don't listen to somebody on the internet telling you that the movie is ass. If you're interested in going to see Five Nights at Freddy's and you can go see Five Nights at Freddy's, go do it. Don't listen to me. Don't listen to fucking IGN. Don't listen to nobody. Form your own opinion. And if you have an opinion, it is your right to have it. But if you're literally making an opinion just for the sake of clicks, if you're rage baiting in an opinion just for the sake of clicks, and it's kind of obvious with how you're writing it, fuck you. That's where I'm boiling it down to. Yeah. So yeah. Form your own opinions, have fun, watch the movie, and if you buy a Fast Talker, don't be that asshole spamming the Abby or you hear button, because I feel like we're going to see clips of those. Peace out, guys.